Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. Special guest in the building. Also, he's a radio host, so be careful, guys, because he will try to take our job in a minute.
Yes.
Mr. Andre Harrell.
Good morning. It's a champagne and bubble morning. I'm here with Charlamagne the God. I'm here with Envy. I'm here with the beautiful Miss Angela Yee.
Hello.
And we're getting ready to set this thing off.
I used to listen to Champagne and Bubbles on Kiss all the time.
Thank you, man. I
All the
appreciate
time.
that.
Because, I like R&B, and, you was playing that good old 90s R&B.
That two-step.
Yes, man.
That girl meet boy, boy meet girl music.
Yes.
We're actually having a 90s R&B party.
Are you really?
We planning it.
Yeah.
We are, for real.
For real?
Yeah, we got to, man.
All right, let's
I'm
get
tired of
serious.
You're the host,
dancing to
Yeah,
SWV
yes, I'm available for that.
I'm tired of dancing the guy in my house by myself.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right. You want to get a woman next to you again.
What about your
Absolutely.
wife?
I mean, we dance together, but I'm saying I would like them old school vibes of,
She got to watch you dance.
that New Jack Swing era was a different type of era, man.
That was a different era. With the Gucci girls dancing and Teddy Riley music.
Yes.
That was it in the barbershops, the superstar barbershop, dry curl.
Yes.
You know
Oh my
about
gosh.
that?
No.
Why are you saying yes?
They had that mastered in Harlem. The dry curl. Your hair just looked naturally curly like you was Trinidadian.
Oh, like an S curl.
But it wasn't an S
wasn't an
curl.
S curl.
It was
It
drier.
was a dry curl.
So how you keep it dry? I don't.
They made it look like it was natural. It's
Okay.
at Jerry's Den. It's some 145th Street secrets.
Got you.
How do they do that?
Why you never signed Teddy Riley?
I did
You
sign
did
Teddy
sign Teddy,
Riley. He
right?
was in Guy.
He was in Guy, but I'm saying he wasn't. You never signed him as a solo artist.
No, because I had Guy.
Got you. Okay.
Would you want Guy? Or
Guy
would you-
was amazing.
You're right.
Yeah.
Groove Me.
Yeah.
Piece of My Love.
Yeah.
Was
Now feel
was
free
Aaron
at
Hall
any
difficult?
point. You can play any of my music.
Yes,
At any point, you could go ahead and jump into it.
Was Aaron Hall difficult to work with? We always hear stories about him.
Aaron Hall wasn't difficult. He was really excited. He was like the second coming of Charlie Wilson. He just went in the studio and he sang the songs. And Teddy Riley, as a producer, he would make songs so fast. Like I remember being in his house in his living room. He made Him or Me in like 6 minutes
Wow.
for today. He finds the bass line.
Yeah.
And then he puts the beat on it, and he's watching you in his living room groove. If you grooving, he's still making music. 6 minutes.
Wow.
You didn't have Aaron as a solo artist either, though, did you?
Uh-uh.
That's what I mean when I said did you sign Teddy? Because you had Guy, but then Aaron went solo, then Teddy went and did his own thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You just let him go? Or?
No, it wasn't just letting it go. They wanted to split up and do different things. Sometimes when you have a lot of artists, you don't want to control every part of them because they end up not really wanting to work with you.
Got
You
you.
got to allow them to get some other monies.
Got you.
How did you get your start in the music industry?
Yeah, I think we might be speed.
let me
we
speed.
got to
Let me fast
tell the
forward.
people.
Let's go back. How did you get your start in the music industry?
I started off as a rapper when I was 15 years old, 1975. I went to Charles Avenue's high school. We were a Harlem group, and my name was Dr. Jekyll. We were in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Right.
And we did center parties in Harlem, USA.
I love seeing those old pictures.
Yeah, those are classic ones.
Well, they on my Instagram. You
Yeah,
just go
let's see
check
those
them
old
out.
pictures.
You still remember any of those old bars?
I remember. Do I remember? Oh, boss, come on, man.
Spit something.
I ain't spitting nothing right
Yeah,
now.
don't do that to him.
When I get that feeling, y'all better beat on. I do what I do. Y'all know I ain't afraid of the mic.
We
Y'all
know,
that, right?
we know.
Of course not.
Okay. then.
You didn't, but did you have a messed up contract back then?
Of course. Record business was
What was that
brand new.
contract like?
We taking everything. We taking your children, your drawers, your train pass, everything we could take. But, fortunately, back then, deals were like for 12 inches. They only
Right.
lasted a year.
Right.
So if you didn't hit that summer, you got dropped, and you were free to go get another deal. So it was just a singles market. So by the time it became album time, we were very well educated in the business. So much so, I decided to take a backseat and do the business
And you
And start
found
Uptown
Uptown
Records.
and
Records.
start Uptown
So
Records.
tell us about that. How did you find Uptown Records? How did you get the funding? And how did you find the
Well,
artists?
how did he learn the business though? Like to make you say that's what you wanted to do.
I was always the manager of my group, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So I always dealt with Corey Robinson and Profile Records. I always dealt with Russell when he had Curtis Blow to produce records. I always dealt with the jerky managers in Cleveland. I always had the roadmap how to do it. And it was just natural to me because there wasn't so much money that you really had to have. Back then, if you made $500, if you made $1,500, if you had a hot record, you can go to Roseland, get $1,500. You can go to Broadway International, get $1,500, and you might go somewhere in Queens and get $1,500. That's $4,500. All you gotta do is spend $250 in an OJ. Collect that money. I ain't giving nobody else none of that.
What's an OJ?
You don't remember those? OJ is like Uber, but it was an OJ. And it was no technology. You just called the OJ your man,
Gotcha.
whoever he was, number 95. Who's your man? You know, he
Gotcha.
come there.
Because back then cabs had car numbers, so you'd be like, I want car 95, and
Gotcha,
that was your
gotcha.
guy.
Yeah. And he would roll with you to the club. He'd be at the back door in case you had to get out of there quick. You needed that back then.
Fun days.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So you started Uptown.
I started Uptown really kind of by accident. I was sitting in the office at Rush, working with Russ, and Heavy D called me and wanted to speak to Russell Simmons.
God bless the dead.
So God bless the dead. And I said, Russell's not here. He said, well, can I speak to you? And I said, okay. We said, what's your name? I said, my name is Andre Harrell. He said, your name is Andre Harrell. I heard that name. He said, yo, you Dr. Joe for Dr. X? Yeah. I'm busy, man. What's going on? He said, nothing. I'm going to call you tomorrow. So he hung up, right? Got his game together. The thing about Hev, y'all don't know, he was charming. Hev would get you on the phone and just ask you, yo, so how's your day? He would hear it in your tone that if you were going through something, you were like, hello? He would say, hey, what's happening, baby? It's just me, Hev. How's your day going? And you be relaxed. This big fat cuddly dude. You start relaxing.
He was the original champagne bubble.
And he made you relax. I'm all right. And you didn't want to be mean and you wanted to take in what he said. And then when he came down to the office, he came down to Rush and Russell saw him. Russell thought he was one of the fat boys. And I said, nah. This ain't you looking at him like he's Ralph Cramden, the bus driver in the Honeymoons. I said, no, he's like Jackie Gleason. How sweet it is. When he had that show in Miami with the Cassage,
Yeah.
that's who I always saw Heavy as. I saw him as a big smoothie. And that kind of put big men in style.
Absolutely. But Heavy could dance.
Overweight
though.
lover.
I
Overweight
still ain't
lover.
seen a big man that could dance like Heavy. Heavy could dance,
He
man.
could dance.
He could do reggae. He could dance.
He could do
rap,
reggae.
He could sing
He
everything.
was very
So Heavy was your
talented.
first artist.
Heavy was my first artist. I remember taking him to a Janet Jackson party. I got invited. And I showed Heavy the invite. And he said, that's nice. I said, you going? He said, why am I going? I said, I guarantee you, as soon as you walk in that party, Janet Jackson's going to walk over to you. As soon as we walked in, it was at Prince's Club. And you kind of walk downstairs. As soon as we walked downstairs, Janet Jackson dancing, seen him. Janet Jackson came over, grabbed Hev. I ain't see him no more that night.
How did you know Janet was going to come to him? Janet had a thing for big guys?
No, I just think that Hev had such a love thing going on out there that when Janet saw him, his likability just affected her. He said, who'd be cooler to run around with at my party
Gotcha.
than Hev D?
He was magnetic and charismatic. And
Yes.
How'd you convince
Presence.
Heavy to sign with you? Especially being that you didn't have a label at the time.
The way I got Heavy to sign with me is I was working with Teddy Riley up at the rooftop. So I would go up to the rooftop and get Teddy Riley tracks, and I would play him for Hev. So Russ didn't want to sign him. So that's the first thing. He was out. There weren't that many places to go back then. So when I got his record, I was up for an interview at MCA Records with Gerald Busby, and they had New Edition and Ready for the World back then. So I came, I gave him my music, and he didn't like it. So I started to work his secretary, Cynthia. And I would work her and say, how you doing? Like Hev was working me. And I would send her records and find out what she thought. People don't realize that you be targeting the big man who writes the check.
You got to be the people that talk to the big
You
man.
you gotta get in graces with the person that talks to the big man, and then y'all can help each other.
Right.
So they know, especially the assistant, when the big man has time and he's relaxed, and they could go in there and say, you know, that boy Andre been calling here all the time, but I think he got a record. Really? Let me hear it.
Right.
And he sit back, relaxed, open to it.
Right.
She do the work for you.
Absolutely right.
That worked out.
And Heavy was a hit.
Heavy was a hit. He was the overweight lover out the gate, Mr. Big Stuff. You know, Reggie Hutton shot his first video. The dude who made House Party.
Word.
Mm-hmm.
So who came after Heavy?
Who? Albie Shore.
Al,
You know what? You
you
were the first dude to give light-skinned people
That's
the stimulus
right.
package.
Okay?
That's
I'll be
right.
sure
Okay.
Christopher Williams, light-skinned guys would have never been in style if it wasn't for you.
No,
appreciate that.
they wasn't styled. They went out and they was fighting with Jordan and Bobby Brown. Albie Shore was the last one who stood up with the curls.
Yeah, and Christopher.
Obviously, Christopher
Yeah.
Williams.
I was so happy when Nino Brown stabbed him in the hand
Oh,
and New Jack
stop.
City. Lord have mercy.
Wait, let me tell you the power of light-skinned dudes with curls back then. Albie Shore came to my office. He said, Dre, come downstairs. I said, for what? He said, Dre, I need a new car. I need you to come downstairs. So we went downstairs at MCA on 56 and B-Way. We went walking for about a quarter of a block. You hear, is that I'll be sure? Is that I'll be sure? We walk another quarter block. That's I'll be sure. And girls start running after us. I never had an artist who had screaming girls like that. Never.
Nice.
To this day. To this day. Chase you down the street, girls in New York City. When you see that?
You're right.
Wow.
So what happened?
That never happened with like Jodeci or I would think.
Not
Jodeci,
like
you
I'll
signed
Be Sure.
Jodeci too?
Oh yeah, Jodeci.
How did the girls be running after Jodeci?
Jodeci was kind of tough looking. Like you just didn't want to run up on Casey and dive on them all around and see what's happening. They
Right.
was a group. An individual, you have a better shot at.
Okay.
Did you know that when you signed Jodeci though? Because you could just go from these, I guess, attractive light-skinned guys to these 4 dudes from North Carolina.
Well, Jodeci, when they were in my office, they were playing music for one of my A&Rs who went to concert with me, Kurt Woodley. So Hev was having a meeting with me, and we kept hearing, so you're having my baby, and it feels so good to me. So we're listening to that. Who is this? Where's this coming from? Then I heard, come and talk to me.
That's my song.
Then me and Hev got up and went in and opened the door in Kurt Woodley's office, and four little dudes from North Carolina was sitting there, and we said, yo, did y'all make these records? Yep. I said, really? Yep, I wrote them and produced them. And that was Devontae Swing. And I said, y'all ain't going home. We signing y'all. We're getting you a hotel, find you a lawyer. Y'all getting ready to make a record deal. You're going to be on Uptown Records.
That's what they told us. They was like, we had all those records before we got there. I was like, I didn't believe them, but yeah.
They did. Now, what happened was, I put them in the studio. They went and made all them records. And them records wasn't right at their first go-around. Because, you're in North Carolina back in 1991. It wasn't like you was at Hit Factory.
Gotcha.
So when they first played their record, they came up to my house in Alpine, and it wasn't mixed right. It was noisy. And I put on that Johnny Gill record, My. And I remember sitting them down and saying, do you see how this boy is saying, put on that red dress? Do you see a red dress? Slip on them high heels. Is she moving around the living room? Now play your record. And that record was cat to that cat. And I said, do you see anybody or do you just hear noise? So they got so mad and frustrated. But then I put I'll Be Sure with them to produce.
Oh.
So it was still their lyrics, still their music, but Al had more experience producing. He had worked with Quincy. So he was a really masterful producer. And that's how we got to that first Jodeci album. And there was a big fight over the first single, too. Remember, the first single was Gotta Love, the up-tempo.
It was it. Because it was half the album was like more up-tempo, the other half was slow.
Right.
That's right. So Puff and Jodeci got together. And this is my policy. When it comes to artists, if you feel strongly about something, you know yourself and you know your fans better than I can. You just keep arguing with me until you get your way, till I see it your way. So they argued, but I Gotta Love, and we know that wasn't it.
Was Puff in that video? Dancing?
Puff was in that video
I remember
dancing. But Puff dances. So then I said, let's put out Forever My Lady. And we put out Forever My Lady. It blasted off.
Gone.
I feel like all those slow joints
All
on
the
that
slow
album
joints
was in the
working that
And then
Stay.
Come and Talk to
Come and
Me.
Talk to Me.
Started, we were off, and then we hit you with the remix,
Yes, sir.
the hip hop soul.
Yes, sir.
And
Stop
then the
it.
Ghostface and
Stop it.
Yeah.
You know, Mr. Dalvin did that.
Freaking You remix.
Yes, the Freaking
Classic.
You remix.
that was the second album.
Woo. Woo.
The Come and Talk to Me remix though. That
Now,
was
see, we're going to talk all this talk about Jodeci. We're not going to play one record. Look at all that.
Nah,
We doing a mix this morning.
Exactly.
What are you talking about?
Absolutely.
We doing an Uptown mix this morning.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cause
All right, let me sit up.
Uptown.
All right.
Okay, so we talked
Respect.
about Guy, Heavy D, Jodeci, Christopher Williams, I'll Be Sure, Mary J. Blige.
Now,
was
Mary
the
J.
queen.
Blige. Now, tell us how you got with Mary.
So I got with Mary through her managers. He worked on the assembly line at Ford up at Terrytown, New York, and Mary's stepfather gave him this tape. So he was the same manager that was managing Jeff Redd. So they came and they played me the tape. And people thought it was Anita Baker, but it wasn't Anita Baker. It was Chaka Khan's Sweet Thing. So she played Sweet Thing. I'm gonna love you anyway. You know how she kills it.
right.
So I'm listening to that, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. It felt like a Picasso painting, the way her voice was going through the canvas, like all that pain, all that heart. So I remember saying to her, I went up to Snowbound Projects, right, to meet her and her mother and everything. And so when I came up there, she was looking at me just smiling. She was shy. And I said, your voice is serious. I said, one day you're going to sing for rock and roll legends, kings, and queens. And she just giggled like a 17-year-old. And look what happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
She became the queen of hip-hop soul.
Yeah.
Almost 20 years later.
Right.
That's crazy.
And then you got Soul for Real. You had
Heavy D.
Father MC.
Father MC.
Father MC,
The
he
Lost Boys?
was on Jodeci songs earlier. Or they were on his song.
Yep.
I remember that.
Right? Treat them like you want to be treated.
Yeah.
We should treat them right. Yep.
So Heavy found Soul for Real. You had the Lost Boys too, right?
Yep. We had the Lost Boys too.
Do it.
Damn.
Oh, at one point
Uptown was no joke.
we had
Uptown
we
was
had
on
9
fire
records
with
on the
that.
radio here in New York.
Being a DJ, boy.
I've never,
Uptown.
and you know what? I don't know if this just because of the time period, but I've never heard anybody say Andre Harrell didn't treat me fairly.
No, that's nice.
He said that's nice.
I mean, I don't know
He
if
said maybe
it's-
you didn't hear it, but that's
Yeah, maybe I
nice.
didn't hear it.
No,
but
I
you
tried-
always hear stories.
I
But
try to be nice. But what I try to do, I think, more importantly, is I try to look at an artist and see them for who they want to be. And then I try to tell them, these are the clearest things that will make you big, and we should move toward that. And fortunately, my relationship was such a trusting relationship with them, they would try some of the things I would want to do.
Right.
And it worked out.
What was your biggest mistake running Uptown Records or artist you passed on? Both,
I
actually.
never passed on anybody that I
That made
wanted. I got everybody I wanted. That like if I wanted it, it meant everybody else wanted it. Like before I wanted it, they wasn't sure. But once I wanted it, everybody was sure.
That's how it happens.
So then I got so many records on the radio. I'm like, you gonna go with them or you gonna go with me? And back then they was going with me. Because the artists were happy, they were on tour together. We had a sound. Matter of fact, we had a culture.
Right.
We were ghetto fabulous.
Right.
And we was having the time of our life in NYC. We drank up all the champagne, danced at all the parties. And that's what they was looking at. They was looking at that lifestyle from rags to riches, going from the bottom to the top. That ghetto fabulous.
Right.
We always hear the infamous story about how Diddy worked for you and he was an intern and he would ride the train and hide in the bathroom because he was in college at Howard just to come and work at Uptown. And then they said you ended up firing him.
I can see why you'd fire him.
No. There's so much to Puff. Y'all have no idea. First of all, Puff was having the time of his life.
It had to
imagine.
stop.
Nobody loved Ghetto Fabulous more than him.
Yeah.
Puff came in the door with 2 earrings on. I had never seen that. He came in with boots and blazers and hoodies. I was looking at him like, okay, all right. I think that works. Why don't we dress Jodeci like that? And we did.
Right.
And the record company would say, put them in suits. And Puff said, I'm about to put them in suits. He was in tears. I'm like, you're going to dress them how you dress, Puff. And I would empower my young people to let them know the things that they did right and that they had a lifestyle that other people would like. And for Puff, he really had the close opportunity because he really worked closely with me. Puff used to watch me like television on the phone. I used to stop in the middle, Puff,
Stop staring at him.
don't you got to go to work?
All right.
So he was really a student of the game. And he worked really, really, really hard.
How much did Puff contribute to Uptown? Because it seems like Puff gets a lot of credit for Uptown because he gets a lot of credit for Jodeci and Mary J.
He did contribute a lot, but these are the main things he contributed. I signed Mary J. Blige, I signed Jodeci, but Puff worked on Jodeci, but I'll Be Sure produced them.
Gotcha.
All right? What Puff's claim to fame is musically was his construction and fashion of Mary J. Blige. That's him.
Right.
He I signed her, but Puff put that beat up under her and changed the game.
Right.
Him, Eddie F., what's the other producer's name? Is it Say What? What's his name? Who sings that Say What?
Darnell Jones?
Darnell Jones. They came and they laid down those sad kind of chords, and Mary would sing like Project Sunshine over them, like Love Without a Limit.
Yes, sir.
She just made you feel like
Absolutely.
it's good in the hood. Let's drop a top and let's put on some new sneakers.
Absolutely.
So we love Mary. Like in my office, if Mary had a performance, everybody would sit there and debate. And I wasn't the leader. I wasn't the boss. When it came to artists, best argument wins. I'm listening to see you back up what you're going to say. So they would say, Mary can't wear that. That's not what her audience wants. And I'd be like, all right. And I felt like by taking care of Mary and helping lift her up, and make her queen. We were lifting up girls from single households, girls from impoverished neighborhoods.
Word up.
So Mary was and is a symbol of what you can really do.
Well, that's what they say. In order for you to rise, you got to lift up others.
Yes. Yeah, I think she's the best example of that.
Right.
So did he bring Biggie to Uptown at one point?
Yes,
He had him
but
signed?
but he brought Biggie to Uptown through Bad Boy. Like we started Bad Boy at Uptown.
Okay.
And so Puff wanted to sign Biggie, and his label was new. He didn't have any artists. So he just needed me to assure Biggie
You
that,
gave Puff Bad Boy label? Or,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I thought it was Arista.
No, yes. I gave him Bad Boy Records. And he had already signed Total. He had already signed Craig Mack and Biggie. And Biggie had Out Partying Bullshit. That came out on Uptown Records.
Right.
And then he wanted to sign Biggie, and we had a dinner up at Sylvia's, right? And I sat down Biggie and assured him that Puff had all my confidence and all my resources, and that he would be treated no different than any other artist we got. We don't sign a lot of artists, and if we sign you, we're going to figure you out and make you the biggest star that we can make you. And that's all he needed to hear, and then Puff did his thing.
All right.
He
Did
his
you
thing.
believe in Big when you first saw him?
I believed in Puff, but after I started hearing that music, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, ooh, when I started Black and Ugly as Ever,
Yeah.
Biggie is my favorite rapper. He's like the mom and gay hip hop.
All right.
Absolutely. So what was the downfall, if there was a downfall of Uptown Records? Why did Uptown stop producing all those records?
Light skinned people.
Watch your
I'll be
mouth.
sure.
Watch
Christopher,
your
too much of that.
mouth.
No. They just came with an offer from Motown that was so ridiculous at the time. I had to take a look at it. And then Heavy came on to be the president. But artists sometimes can have a hard time managing artists. Because artists, in order to be great, they need to spend a lot of time thinking about themselves. So as the president of the label, you have to give yourself to others and give yourselves to helping other people's dreams. So that's a different headspace. But that's really the only reason, because they could have went on, because they had all the talented people. It was a matter of being able to manage everybody's expectations, ego, and motivate them.
So you left Uptown to go to Motown.
Yep.
And left the jail open, and it just the artists were running the asylum.
The
pretty
inmates
much.
ran the asylum.
The inmates ran the asylum for a minute. But you know what? Mary J. Blige made it through.
Definitely did.
Mary J. Blige made it through.
Yeah.
Jodeci would
Thrived.
have made it through too if it wasn't for like their personal issues.
You right.
Yeah.
You right.
He never wanted to get back into the music.
Yeah, I was gonna
industry?
say you never wanted to sign yourself and put out a single on Uptown back then.
The only thing I want to put out is a champagne and bubble CD.
I'm with that. I miss the Quiet Storm. I feel like Quiet Storm missing from radio. No
Yep.
radio stations don't do the Quiet Storms no more.
Like romance is out of style. How people having babies? Just rough
think
sex
he's-
in the closet?
I think Keith Sweat has a show that's kind of like that.
Keith Sweat has a national show. Just not here in New York.
Keith Sweat got a show.
Not in New York, but yeah, Keith Sweat has a national show.
Yeah, but I like the Vaughn Harpers and all that good
Oh, that
stuff
was
like
nice.
that. Now, you work for Revolt now, which is interesting because you had to fire Diddy.
Mhm.
But Diddy is always...
Why
y'all
did you
always-
have to fire Diddy though? What really happened?
Only thing that happened was, you got to understand, when Puff worked for me, Puff was like, he was my protege. So he basically got to do all the things I did. And so anytime somebody else would tell him no, it was a problem. So I had New York Undercover, so I'm running over there with Dick Wolf trying to work on this show. Puff
That
is-
was your show, New York Undercover?
Yeah, I produced
Forgot about
that.
that.
Damn,
Because you had got a
Andre
TV deal.
You got so much going on in this place.
Uptown, I
We
got
need
a TV
Andre
deal.
Harrell movie.
Now, I remember
Yeah.
James M. Tume was the music
He was the
supervisor.
music supervisor.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so, all right, New York Undercover.
So Puff was walking around the office without a shirt on, just really living out the video
He
and
was
the whole
feeling
bit.
himself.
Yeah. So then one day we sat down and we had a conversation with the general manager, and Puff said straight up, "I don't work for him. I work for you, Dre." And I was like, "Oh my God, I got an artist in the building." I mean, this episode, everything that happens now, none of y'all gonna be able to handle it. It's gonna be on me. And I was feeling I wanted to grow Puff into his own boutique label because we had given him Bad Boy, but he needed his own space, and I couldn't give MCA to give me the space. So when he got fired, he was on payroll the whole time, and his artists were on payroll the whole time. And when he got his deal, I sat there and helped him negotiate and pick the best deal. So I let him go to make him rich.
That was the best thing that probably ever happened to him.
So
Absolutely.
we wouldn't
I mean,
be fighting.
And if he insults you in front of the GM, you got to make the sacrifice. Like, look, I got to cut you off.
Well, he insulted the GM really in front of you. More.
It was more like I'm gonna have to spend all my time
Right.
watching Puff, and I was growing, doing so many things, and it's not like I didn't enjoy watching Puff, but if I couldn't be there to watch him do his thing, because Puff would come to my office, play his records that he just mixed, he would do hot dance. You know what I'm saying? Like every Monday, we would come into my office, and Monday morning at 9 o'clock, you had to be at my staff meeting. If you missed the staff meeting, you missed the opportunity to chime in on the moves that the artists are gonna make. And we had so many artists, so there was a lot of sexy moves. So if you're 26, 27, you want to be involved in that because you might want to make a move. You want to have your hand on that because this thing is moving.
Right.
So I remember I was making a movie. It was Strictly Business.
Dang.
And Puff got a part in it. See, at my company, I let you be stars. Puff said, can I audition? He got a part. And
He was in everything.
So wait. So we sitting there having a regular meeting. Phone rings. It's my producer on the other line. He said, yo, we got a problem out here. I said, what? Oh, Puff just punched one of the gaffers in the face.
Oh.
I said, what? Puff just punched the gaffers in the face.
Goodness gracious.
I was like,
That damn
Jesus
Diddy boy.
Christ. Puff was like Dennis the Menace back then.
He's like Dennis the
Yeah,
Menace
like right
now.
now, still now.
He's changed, he said. He's changed.
No, he is trying to change. He totally is trying to change. I'm talking about then. So I remember we having our staff meeting. Puff is in jail, dropping quarters in the payphone, coming in over the speakerphone, trying to be in the
In
meeting.
the meeting.
That looked like
He's
that. That's how
dedicated.
serious and dedicated he was. So
Puff crazy.
that was a very, very enjoyable time, and I really enjoy working with Puff because me and Puff are able together to take this whole black thing to a pop international level.
And that's what y'all
So
doing
he started
now?
Revolt, and he tapped you to come help run Revolt with
Yeah.
him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell
And-
us about the Revolt Music Conference.
All right, y'all was there last year.
Yes.
Y'all tell the fans about how was it last year?
Listen,
I had an amazing
Ghetto
time.
Fabulous.
Charlamagne had a situation with Mace. That was the only.
That was nothing.
But it was good.
There's a
If
little
you're an
pushing,
artist, you wanna
shoving
get heard. If
situation.
you're a producer, you want to know the industry, the ins and the outs. It's definitely a place you should go. I mean, if you're a rapper, try not to come with your CDs. Just try to come to learn. That's what I should tell people. Try to come to learn.
I like it because it gives you that. I never used to get to go to these, but that old Jack the Rapper
Right.
feel, and you hear about those old DJ
There's not a lot of
in
conferences
Rico.
now that we
There's
can go
not
to.
no real official music conferences that you
And
feel
this
like
is
you got to.
official, like some of the top executives. I
Yes.
met a lot of people that actually own marketing companies that I was able to talk to and connect with to help me with my own branding. But there's a lot of people that you can see their talk from iHeart, from Revolt,
Mhm.
you know, from Interscope, from all the different labels that can help you with every facet of what it is that you might want to do in the music business.
Mhm.
Well,
We
tell
have
them
beats
what
there.
it is. Tell them what it is.
The
so they don't
Revolt
know.
Music Conference is a 3-day experience to take place down in Miami at the Fontainebleau Hotel. It's from October 15th to 18th. It's 3 days of panels dealing with management, dealing with A&R, dealing with marketing, dealing with branding, dealing with social media, dealing with technology. And this year we're adding venture capitalists to it because music moves technology so fast that the money be coming right to you.
Right.
So instead of us having to go to Silicon Valley, I got Silicon Valley coming to us.
There you go.
Nice.
All right, so I got a couple of panels that will feature major VCs.
So you can learn how to get people to invest in your dream
Yep.
and help
And
make
some
that
people
a reality.
some people will be presenting products, like innovating products for the future, and we'll do a Shark Tank, and we'll have
Oh, wow.
Reese and the
that's
Horwitz,
dope.
like the main Silicon Valley guys there to judge that. You know, Troy, who manages John Legend and Miguel, he got a company called Atom Factory. And when he had Lady Gaga, he went down to Silicon Valley, made deals with Twitter, and got all these angel investments. And now he's got a big company, and he's got a fund. And you know, Nas got a fund called Queensbridge. Did y'all know that?
Mm-mm.
Oh, if you pull up right now and you see what Nas got, if you look at Queensbridge Fund, he's doing it.
That's right, because I saw that he's part owner of Mass Appeal magazine now.
And Nas is doing great now.
Mm-hmm.
Genius.
Yeah.
He's an angel investor in Uber. Nas he's the truth.
Making money.
All right.
Nas is the truth. Cool as heck too.
We appreciate you joining us, man. You got to come by more often,
I
man.
know.
So when is
man.
the Revolt Music Conference, and where can people go to get the information, just so we let them know?
You're going to go to the revoltmusicconference.tv, and you will see that this year we're adding a lot of artists to it. We got Jendea, Janelle Monáe's new audience.
Jadena?
Classic man.
Jadena, Classic Man. We got Robin Thicke. He's performing at the gala dinner.
Uh-oh.
We got Puff Daddy and the Family.
Yes.
We got Dej Low. And
She was there last year, I remember.
but she's coming now, and she's gonna try me one more time. And we got many more guests. We're giving out humanitarian awards. We're giving out innovation awards. We're giving out Renaissance awards to artists, to technologists. I can't tell all the surprises, but it will be star-studded this year.
I'll give you one more surprise. The Breakfast Club is going to be there.
Uh-oh. Can we do like
The
a
Breakfast Club.
can we do a champagne and bubble kind of morning
Let's
thing?
do it.
Let's-
I'm with it.
On the
Champagne and
beach?
bubbles, and I'm down for that.
Right?
Hey.
with it.
And we play sexy stuff
That'd
all
be
that
hot.
morning.
We should do a 90s party that weekend.
Oh, we definitely doing that.
Sound like y'all about to have an orgy.
That's definitely
90s party that weekend.
done.
That's what we should
Let's do it.
Yep.
You coming?
I might for that. You can fly out like I did last year. Come
Yep.
on, Dave.
Yep. No, we do a 90s party.
I'm
with you.
down for that.
Yo, we
Let's
all
do. Let's
hosted
get it.
I'm
together.
with that. I'm
Well,
with that.
Well, let's do that. We
And I'm
appreciate
holding
doing
you
this.
to it's Throwback Thursday Uptown Records mix this morning.
We doing it now.
Heavy D.
Can't wait.
Father MC.
Let's go.
Al B.
Mary J.
Guy.
Blige,
Mary J.
Soul For Real.
Jodeci.
We
Horace
got it,
Brown.
man.
Jeffrey.
Jodeci.
Okay, now, taste your love.
Monifa.
God, dog.
Lost Boys.
All right.
That.
SWV.
Okay, talk that.
All right, it's the Breakfast Club. Andre Harrell.